Fox 5 Health News, and there could be some sleight of hand going on in the seafood world. A new study finds that much of the shrimp that is sold in grocery stores and also restaurants may not be exactly what you think it is.
All right, joining us now, nutritionist Shari Boockvar. All right, let's talk about this. This was something we've seen before. You know, you go to the restaurant, you think you're getting sea bass, and you're not, because it all kind of looks the same, and people are pulling all sorts of scams.
Or crab, and you're not.
Right. So this was a study that came out from the conservation group, Oceana. And they looked at 143 samples from grocery stores as well as restaurants and found that about 30% of them were being misrepresented in labeling, in swapping, in mixed species going in. And it's alarming.
So wait, let's explain what this is exactly then. If you're not getting straight up shrimp from, say, the Gulf or Thailand, what do you get?
So that's it. So you don't know where it's coming from. It may have come from one place, then relabeled somewhere else, and then it's coming to you. Or perhaps the labeling was wrong of where it's coming from.
But is it actually shrimp? Or is it like, you know,
yes,
the crab and the crab
different
food kind of
different species.
Different
and that they were
But it matters a lot because the nutrition's totally different, right?
Right, it matters where it's coming from because you're looking at the health aspects of it as well as environment and other aspects as well. But you know what I try to tell people too, there's a couple things because you have to take these studies and say, well, what do I do as a consumer?
Yes.
Right.
So you have the choice to eliminate it altogether, or you can make choices. So, for example, the Monterey Bay Aquarium has a great app called the Seafood Watch, which you could download or go online. And you can ask questions because it's being able to trace where your food comes from. So ask questions when you go to the restaurant if they have the answer at your grocery store. And also keep in mind, too, don't eat the same foods every day anyway. I would never suggest to somebody to eat shrimp every day.
Okay, all right. That's good information.
All right, well, let's talk about this, too, if you're too tired to cook, which is something a lot of us have to deal with. Prepackaged food options have sort of gotten a lot better in recent years.
Right.
Correct? We got a lot better options than maybe what we used to have 10, 20 years ago.
Yes, and you've got some amazing examples right here.
Yes, so there was a study that had come out that frozen foods are not as bad as they once were. Keep in mind this was supported by Nestle. Doesn't negate the results of the study, but just to keep that in mind. But I have now, over the past years, have found some great products. And I'm not against frozen foods if you're buying the right types. It's important to look at ingredients, look at the food labels. But some of the ones that I found, some brands, Artisan Bistro, they use organic ingredients. It has a nice, cleaner, what I call a cleaner ingredient list.
Yes, and this says it's wild-caught Alaskan salmon. It has the omega-3s and all that stuff.
That's right.
Cranberry pilaf and broccoli.
It's delicious. I have
all right,
that for
then
lunch.
let's look at this one.
This is by Evil Foods. It's their teriyaki chicken bowl with brown rice, chicken, vegetables. Easy to heat up and a great lunch option or dinner, any meal.
I love these.
Love. So this is by Garden Lights. They have these vegetable and egg white soufflés, lots of different flavors. This happens to be the broccoli one. And one of my new favorite brands is Grainful.
Oh, porcini mushroom chicken.
This brand uses, instead of pasta or rice, they actually use steel-cut oatmeal. And it's has been in my freezer for a couple months now. I always have a box of that
because
on
these
hand.
are better ingredients, can they not last as long in your freezer as maybe things did in the past, or how long can they?
No, not necessarily, but I always check the dates on boxes of anything, on labels, and you can always in your freezer put at eye level which ones you want to use first, so you can always do a rotation. And yeah, as long as you're looking at the label, it can be great options.
But not, I mean, it's a good go-to, but there's no substitution for fresh.
Thank you. Yes, that was one of the first things I wanted to say. It's wonderful to cook from fresh, but we don't always have time in our life to do that. So it's a matter of finding the ones that are going to work for you. And certainly better than many times ordering from a restaurant in terms of overall calories, fat.
That's true.
Awesome.
Sodium.
Well, thank you so much.
You're
I've got some new stuff.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.